This is a pretty obvious one. Right inside the view, we forgot to call that render view function. So not like a big deal, app breaking glitch like we had in the past. Well, I just forgot to add the render view here. If you did notice this, props to you. All right, so right now it looks like we're not signed in. At least that's what the app's trying to say here. That Meteor.user ID is going to run, and it's apparently not finding us in there. I will add in real quick. I'm going to console log Meteor.user ID just so we can see, what's happening under the hood here. So this is going to refresh, and immediately, we see null comes back, which means there's nothing signed in. So inside the email here, I'm going to, sign in. I already have an email set up, so I'll say fearscanlan@gmail.com and use my super secret password and hit sign in. And this time it works just as expected. So now we got the user ID showing up there, and then the email. Typically, if you with Meteor, if you sign in, sorry, if you once you get on the app, the user ID sticks in the app, like the user authentication token and stuff sticks on the app, so it'll automatically log you back in as soon as you go on there. So normally this will run. We might have to add a little bit of async on here. We'll cover that in another video if need be. But for right now, go ahead and switch this logged in to true no matter what, because we are going to be programming out the map now and adding in a bunch of features with that. So we're going to want to make sure that we're looking at the map at all times. We don't want to have to sign in every second and waste time doing that when we can constantly keep looking at the map here. So a couple things we're going to want to add to this. The first thing, go up to React Native. We're just going to get some import stuff done. So we're going to want to import an image here, and we're going to want to get a bunch of stuff from Native Base. The reason why we're just doing some of the importing now is so we can quickly knock out the rest of it when we get to it later on when we're programming out the app. It's not really necessary to just write something down and go, okay, we got to import it all the time. If you know what you want, you can just import these things ahead of time. So a number of things we're trying to get from Native Base. You'll notice a lot of these things are familiar, like button, icon, body, title, right, and fab from Native Base. And then we're going to want to import our map from Expo. So as I mentioned before, React Native has some primitive components that they just come with, and then Expo also has some primitives that are built into the Expo packages, and some of them are super helpful. That's why they built Expo, because they wanted it to be a step above vanilla React Native, that's just the base React Native without anything special added in yet. Expo takes care of a lot of messy work for us, so we're going to import this map view component that they have made from Expo. Now the cool thing about this map view component is that it's actually Airbnb's map view component. If you go in the Expo documentation, which we'll have a look at later, it actually says this is coming from the Airbnb map that they created. And then the last thing we want to do is import Meteor, because we're going to use Meteor quite a bit on this side. And then this thing called create container, which I believe we imported in app.js, but I'm not sure if we're actually going to even get around to using it there. I'm kind of changing the way I want to do this tutorial on the fly, just because I'm starting to see things that might be a little bit better for teaching you guys. Alright, so that's all we need to import. Video is getting a little bit long, so we'll cut it short and continue on in the next video. I just want to do one refresh, save and refresh, and just make sure everything's running fine. Seems like it is. We're good to go. See you next time.